Yes. Thank you, Emily. We're both, oh, you're good. There you are. So welcome everyone. I'm super excited to be hosting this call for you tonight. I've been doing a lot of these calls lately and they've been super fun for me. I love to see people's faces. I'm not looking quite as glamorous as beautiful Emily Gibson, but today has been one of those 100% total mom days. And we literally just walked in the house from dance like 2 minutes ago. I told my kids to get their jammies on and go straight to bed. So hopefully when I get upstairs, that is what happened. But welcome. I'm so excited that you're all here. My name is Kirsten Fresh. I am an Emerald Ambassador with Plexus. I live in Idaho Falls, Idaho, where it's freezing cold and snowing, and I still refuse to wear a coat because I don't like feeling bulky. And my friends were making fun of me tonight for not wearing a coat, but it's fine. I like to stay where it's warm in my house and in my car. But I have three daughters, 2 8-year-olds and a 6-year-old, and I was brought to Plexus 4 years ago. I had really been struggling with some adrenal fatigue, some other symptoms that I was having, but I wasn't really aware I could fix. My number one priority at the time was just finding some energy to get through my days. I didn't sleep well, therefore didn't feel good during the day, needed naps to survive, and was living up. I was healthy, right? I didn't drink energy drinks, but I drank V8 energy drinks. I thought I was being healthy, getting that fruits and vegetables in my system every day, but it definitely was not a way to live. So I had a friend, a Facebook friend, right? We all have those friends on Facebook that we don't even really know. She posted about this product she was taking called Plexus and how I have twins, and she also was a mother of twins. And I'm on the call. They're obviously not in bed. So she posted that it had helped her to have energy and it had improved her mood. And so I decided to give it a shot. Prior to that, I had been to the doctor and had my blood work taken, and they gave me the thumbs up. Everything looks great, right? I think that's probably happened to a lot of us. Blood work looks great, but I didn't feel great. And I knew that something was not right. And so I'm someone that's not super skeptical about stuff. I'm very open to trying new things. I struggled with infertility for years and years and years and really tried some crazy stuff at the time to get pregnant. So I'm pretty open to, if it worked for someone's sister's, uncle's, cousin's husband, like I'll try it, that's fine. So I was open to trying it, didn't have huge expectations, but I definitely was willing to give it a shot. So I ordered a 7-day trial pack back in November, 4 years ago, and I was excited, I was eager, I was ready. I ordered it, I got it, I was going to start it on a Monday, and I was super excited that weekend. I was in Utah shopping with some friends. I struggled with headaches my entire life. That weekend was a doozy. I had stopped drinking the V8 energy drinks, trying to kind of get my system cleared out, and I had a horrible migraine all weekend, and I was super hopeful that Monday morning I was going to start feeling better. And so Monday morning came around and I woke up and I ripped that pink drink open and stuck it in some water and shook it up. And I was pleasantly surprised that it tasted really good, because usually stuff that's good for you tastes like it's good for you and it's gross. But I was excited about it and it tasted good. The next morning, same thing. I was excited to wake up. My body was craving that pink drink. And about the third day, I woke up and as I said, I had headaches. I struggled with headaches my entire life since I was a little girl. My best friend told me I had a brain tumor and I should go to the doctor because I never wanted to ride bikes or jump on the tramp or do anything that normal kids wanted to do. But I woke up on that third morning and didn't have that heaviness in my head. It was like, even if I didn't have a full-blown headache, I'd wake up in the morning with, like, I always described it as like a cinder block, just like sitting on my head, that heaviness. And I woke up and it wasn't there. And I went to bed that night and thought, oh, I didn't take a nap today. So it wasn't like that crazy, like artificial, whacked out energy all day. It just was like, oh, I naturally was able to get through my day and feel good. The next day, same thing, no headache, no nap. Next day, no headache, no nap. As I said, I'm very open. My husband's very skeptical. So he called it voodoo snake oil, which anything I've ever tried, he thinks is wackadoo. But after about the 10th day, he said to my mother-in-law, who said to me, what are you doing? You're different. That sparkle's back in your eye. I see you again. And I was like, oh, I don't know. It's this pink drink. And my husband said, I don't know what it is. I don't care how much it costs. she's going to take this for the rest of her life. And I was like, okay, well, I guess I turned that skeptic into a believer. So I was super excited about the way I was feeling and didn't want to run out of product. So I jumped right on the Plexus website, and I'm a deal girl. Like, I love a good deal. Like, does anyone else feel that way? It's almost like a high. Like, you're like, oh my gosh, I got the best deal. Like, it makes me so excited. So I, of course, wanted the best option for purchase. I wanted the best deal. So I joined as a wholesale ambassador to save money, because that's just how I am. It was not really at the time a financial burden for our family. But if I can save money, I'm going to save money. If I can get something for free, heck yeah, I'm going to get something for free. So I joined as a wholesale ambassador, zero intention, zero zip, zilch, none. I wasn't telling anybody about it. I wasn't posting on social media. It was not happening. I just wanted a good deal. And that's what I loved about Plexus, is I could get a good deal and didn't have to tell anyone about it. So I started taking my products immediately. I had some friends and family notice the changes in me, how I had my energy back, how I had my sparkle back, and they wanted what I had. And after a couple weeks, I decided, I know so many people out there are struggling with some of the things I was struggling with, and I'm seeing improvements in. By this time, I was like headache free for 2-3 weeks, which has never happened in my entire life that I can remember. And so I know other friends that struggle with headaches. I was learning as I was taking my products, learning from Emily and Brooke and some other people about other people's situations. So I reached out to my sister and said, hey, you have thyroid issues, you're struggling with bleeding ulcers. Like, I really think this will help you. And my mother-in-law, who saw, she wanted to get me to give her some. And I told her no, because I only have 3 left. And I love her, but I was like, no, you can't have my stuff. You'll have to order your own. I was not sharing. I was kind of a brat, but so I kind of naturally, accidentally started telling people about these products, because I was so passionate about the way I was feeling. And that's just my personality, is to share things that I love. I've taken my vacuum and my Norwex mop to my friends' houses and mopped and vacuumed their houses to show them how amazing it is, because I'm just weird. I love people to be happy. I'm a happy person, and I want everyone around me to be happy. So anything that makes me happy, I want to give it to you and share that with you. So it was pretty natural for me. So over the course of the last 4 years, I very rarely get headaches ever anymore at all. And if I do, they're super manageable. And there may be a couple a month, which it used to be 5 days a week. I also have PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome, which definitely contributed to my infertility that I struggled with for years and years and years. And God's plan for everything is bigger than ours, but I really wish I would have had Plexus back then. It would have made life a lot easier for me, for sure. But I used to have horrible menstrual cycles from the day I started at 14, cramps, bloating, nausea, diarrhea. I would literally be out 2 days a month for my period and 12 days a month for headaches. So that was not a really fun life to live, as you can imagine. 6 months into Plexus, I was at my gym, which is Orange Theory, which, if you're familiar, it's not easy. And I was on the treadmill, and I started my period and legit about died, because I was so excited, because I've never been able to be out of bed on day 1 of my period ever. And here I was on the treadmill. I literally did a live on Facebook, and I was like, if you're a guy, scroll along. But if you're a girl, you have to hear this, because I no longer have to take days and days and days out of my month for being down and out from the things that used to plague me. Those things are not an issue for me anymore. I sleep so much better. I struggled with horrible anxiety. My anxiety is amazingly better. My skin, I have zero makeup on right now. You can't really tell, the lighting in my office is really bad, but I used to have adult acne. I mean, horrible acne, like embarrassingly horrible grown-up acne. I don't have that anymore. I use our skincare line, which is all natural and amazing, and it's been like my BFF. It's so simple, which is huge, but it's done so much for me and my family. My husband is on the products, little Mr. Naysayer, takes the products. All my kids take the products, and we're just living happy, healthy lives now. And I know all of us on this call are either here searching for something to help them, or we're in a spot where they were willing to give something a shot to see if it would help them. And that's why we share these products, is because we know what they've done and what they can potentially do for people. And we're lovers, we're helpers, we're healers. That's just our natural way we are. So we're super excited that you're here and listening. And I will turn the time over to Kara, who is going to share a little bit with us. And another thing that's so cool is look at all these beautiful people I've met over the years. Like some of my best, dearest, most value relationships in my life are people that I've met through Plexus. So it's pretty exciting. So take it away, Kara.
Awesome. I totally agree. I did not know that I needed some more friends in my life until I got all of my Plexus buddies. And it's been so fun to just meet new people. So I get to talk about the products for a little bit today. I'll drip in my story a little bit too, so you can just hear a different experience on the products, because unlike Miss Kirsten, I was the ultimate skeptic. I don't usually wear glasses, but I think it's ironic I'm wearing them tonight. Usually I opt for my contacts but I feel like I look school teacherish tonight and a little bit nerdy because that's what I was when I started. I wanted to know all the science. I wanted to know, are these going to work for me and why? Most people don't. They're like Kirsten. They're like, they work for you, great. But for me, if you're like me, I was the skeptic of all skeptics, and I just needed to know why they would work. So it took me a while, like 2 years, to even look at them. I thought they were a quick fix weight loss thing. When my sister started having results with her soda habit, she was able to kick soda in a week, and she's always been super tired because she's been on antidepressants since she was 12. And so when she had all day energy to keep up with her 4 kids, 2 of which were twins, all of them between the ages of 4 and 7, I was like, okay, something is wrong or different. Like, what are you doing? And she said, I'm doing Plexus. And so I said, oh, well, I thought that was a quick fix weight loss bad thing. And she's like, no, it's all about gut health. And so I said, okay, well, tell me more. So as I started to look into it, this is what I found. So our core 3 products are called the triplex. Tri meaning 3, right? So we have the pink drink, comes in 2 different flavors and versions. They're very similar, but one controls hormones a little bit stronger, and one controls feeding your microbiome in your gut a little bit stronger. Other than that, they're basically the same. They both balance your hormones. That means that you're going to sleep better, have more stable mood. You're going to have more energy. It's going to be natural energy all day, where I call it, you can sit down and be still and not fall asleep. Like, that's natural energy to me. Because if I ever sat still, I was out. In fact, I used to fall asleep driving. It was scary because my blood sugar was so out of whack. So the pink drink is so easy. You just rip it off, you pour it into some water, you shake it up, and you just drink it down. You take it usually in the morning. You can take it any time of day. There's no caffeine in it. It's all natural. And it just targets chromium. Chromium is your body's natural hormone, master hormone. And so when you target chromium, it trickles down and balances all of your other hormones. So your cortisol comes down, and that's why you sleep better. That's why your mood comes down, why you're more stable. My momzilla issues went away. My family was really grateful for that. And so that's what the pink drink's doing, is balancing your hormones. It also takes away your sugar cravings, because oftentimes when you're having those spikes and crashes of energy, your body is craving carbs to give you quick energy. So as you're stable, your sugar cravings go away. Okay, so the other 2 products in that triplex, remember there's 3 that all work together, are the gut health products. They're called BioCleanse and ProBio 5. So ProBio 5 is a 3-in-1 product. I love this product. It does have good probiotics in there. But it also has antifungal and digestive enzymes in there, so that it can go through and break down the bad stuff in our gut. So many of us know we should be putting in good probiotics, and we do, but we're wondering why we're not getting any better, or why we might even have some bloating and gas when we take probiotics. And the reason is you haven't made room for the probiotics. You haven't killed off the bad stuff and rebalanced the gut. You're just stuffing in more good, and you're not feeling very awesome. So the ProBio 5 goes through, clears out the bad stuff, and makes room for more good. And that balances your gut, which means your immune system goes up, and a lot of your issues can start to reverse. Okay, so it's like the scrub brush of your toilet. Like if you're cleaning your toilet, you go through, you scrub it, you get all the gunk. You don't want to leave that, right? Nobody wants to leave that for company to come see. So you flush. That's what the BioCleanse does. It is a flush, and it's a gentle cleanse. It is meant to be taken every day. All of my kids take the product. Nobody's ever pooped their pants. It's not that kind of cleanse, so don't be scared. It's magnesium based, and it's super absorbable, which means that your body can actually work like it's supposed to, contract your colon like it's supposed to, so it can help with relieving constipation. But what I also love is that it can also help if you have diarrhea. Say you might have IBS issues, it can balance that too, because it's just balancing your body, working with your gut and your hormones. So those are the 3 in the triplex that work together to rebalance your body. just to tell you my story really quick, like I said, I was really skeptical when I started. Um, Once I finally decided to get started, I had energy on day 3. And that was weird to me. I had been taking 2 naps a day. I would take one kid to school, come back and sleep for 2 hours. And then in the afternoon, nap, stuff and get dinner ready and baths and like the witching hour. And I was exhausted by the end of the night, but then it would take me an hour to fall asleep because my mind wouldn't shut off. And then if I got woken up in the middle of the night by a kid or a husband, I knew the next day would be shot. Sleep just didn't work very well for me. Um, and so when I woke up with energy on day 3, it was life changing. I didn't need naps that day. And I thought this has to be a fluke. So I kept going. And about 2 weeks in, same thing like with Kirsten's, my husband said, "Hey, you're back. You should just keep taking that stuff. And by the way, sign me up too. I need it too." So he started with me about 3 weeks in. What was really exciting for me is that I started a normal period cycle. I've always been normal. So I'm not like Kirsten. I didn't have hard ones or weird ones all my life. But as I got older, they started to get longer. And by the time I started Plexus, I had a 30-day period. 30-day period. I was momzilla and PMS all the time. I don't even know how I'm still married. And so when that went away, that's why my husband said, "You just keep taking that stuff." And so 3 weeks in, I started what became a normal cycle. About 7 months in, I started to have pain-free periods like Kirsten. And then by 14 months in, I was balanced enough that I was able to finally get pregnant with baby number 4. And we'd been trying for a long time, and we just thought it was not going to happen. So I had the best pregnancy. I didn't have gestational diabetes that time. That baby is by far my best, healthiest baby. She's my greatest pooper. She doesn't have constipation and eczema like my other kiddos did. And since then, my insulin resistance has been reversing, and I've now lost 42 pounds of baby weight, which for me is like life changing. I was the one that would look at your salad and like your cookie and your soda, and I would gain the 5 pounds. That was me all my life. So I was really excited that it's just slowly started to come off healthily because my body's balanced. So anyway, that's what I will share with you tonight, and I'll turn it over to Emily.
Hey guys, I have just loved listening to Kirsten and Kara. Their stories are totally different, but they both had a lot of the same issues. And my story is really nothing too glamorous or exciting, but I share some of the same things that they did too. And so as you're listening tonight and you start to think you see little bits and pieces of yourself in each of us, what I hope that you will conclude, just like we did, is that this is worth trying, because I know it took Kara several years to come around. Kirsten was like 30 seconds, and it took me a month. And the reason why it took me a month, and you might be in my same shoes, is because of money. Money, 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 money. Everything in my life used to revolve around money. And the only reason why that ever happens is if you don't have enough of it. If you have plenty of money, there are essentially very few problems with money. I know they say more money, more problems, but those problems are a lot easier to have than the no money, all the problems, right? Put a 1 in the comments if you have the no money kind of problems like I did 5 years ago. The biggest reason why I even started Plexus was because I had just had my 4th baby. My kids were 7, 5, 3, and 4 months old. And I breastfed all my babies for a year. And when my kids went back to school that year, my baby was 4 months old, and driving a 2nd grader, a half-day kindergartner, a 3-day-a-week preschooler, and a breastfeeding baby all around, with a husband that worked 6 days a week, 3 jobs, literally left in the morning at 7 a.m., got home at night around 8, 8:30, and then did paperwork till 11. So I was doing it all by myself. So I just got totally overwhelmed and stressed out, and my milk supply dried up. Now, if you are someone who knows the no money problems, you will know the panic that set into my life at that point, because I mean, listen, I so appreciate and admire and adore the moms that breastfeed their baby for their baby's health. I totally wish that that's why I breastfed my babies, but I breastfed my babies because people told me that it would help me be skinny. Big surprise. I actually didn't lose weight until I stopped nursing. So that was a fun surprise. But the second reason why I nursed my babies was because it was free, 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 free food, free. I totally had a fourth baby under the agreement that it was going to be free to feed the baby for a year. I don't know what I thought I was going to do after that, but I was going to feed that baby for free for a year. And that is why I agreed to have another baby when God was like, I think there's one more. I was like, okay, at least for the first year, they're going to be free, right? Because even when they start eating food, I just always fed them off of my plate, or I would make baby food from old veggies in the fridge that my other kids didn't eat, or whatever was there, right? So the point of this is that I went into extreme panic mode, and my husband made enough money that we didn't qualify for any government assistance. So we had enough money to not qualify for any help, like free formula or free food or whatever, but we didn't make enough money to ever get ahead. So we were just always living paycheck to paycheck. We had $125,000 in debt. $75,000 of that was his student loans for his doctorate degree. He's a physical therapist, which is paid like a teacher in Utah. If you don't know that, it sounds so fancy and so great when you're like, oh yeah, my husband's a doctor of physical therapy. And then you're like, so a teacher salary, fantastic. With a master's degree, a teacher salary with a master's degree. And so then we had no extra money for anything else. So we had all these student loans that was essentially a second mortgage. Then we had $30,000 of credit card debt because we were also self-employed. And when your child breaks their wrist and you're self-employed, you have to meet a $16,000 deductible on top of the $1,200 premium you pay every month for each person. So the $16,000 per person, you get what I'm saying. I don't need to go on and on and on about this. No money, zero money. And then when we would take our one vacation a year to go visit my parents in California, we would drive, we'd pay for our gas, and then my parents would pay for everything while we were there. And then my dad would fill up our tank and hand me some cash for the drive home because he just appreciated that we came out. But when we would take that week off of work, it would set us behind 6 months because his patients would, number one, you wouldn't see patients for a week, but all the clients that were coming into the clinic while we were gone were being passed to everyone else. So it took over a month to recoup from that. It would always set us back financially. And then the credit card debt was from somebody breaking their wrist, going to the ER for that. The furnace leaking, or the AC unit leaking down on the furnace and needing to replace both of them the day after our home warranty expired. You know, the one that you buy where it's like, oh yeah, you have your year home warranty. And I am not kidding you, the day after the furnace breaks. So we had to get a new furnace and a new AC. And they're like, oh yeah, it's interest free for 2 years. That's nice. So what are we going to do at 2-year day one when we still don't have this thing paid off, right? So these were the challenges that we were struggling with. And you might be struggling with a lot of these same things. Maybe not my exact situation, but maybe you have some credit card debt. Maybe you are living paycheck to paycheck. Maybe you would love to start Plexus and you're actually sort of mad that you feel like it's not something that fits into your budget. That was me. I was really resentful of my friend Brooke. It says Brooke Hemingway on Kirsten's face, but that's just because she's logged in under Brooke's account. Brooke is not here, but she is a retired ICU nurse and her husband is an ER doctor. And I remember the first time she sent me the Plexus link, I was so mad. And I remember thinking, oh, so just rich doctors' wives can have this. Fantastic. Another thing where I don't get to do it because we don't have enough money. Now, I do not believe that you have to be a rich doctor's wife to afford Plexus. I think our products are extremely affordable. They are less than $4 a day for you to have balanced blood sugars, improved gut health, and decreased systemic inflammation. There are a lot of things that I used to spend our money on that we didn't have the money for. I would put it on the credit card. Like, for example, if I needed to buy a Christmas present, I'd put it on the credit card, do Amazon, it would send it to me. If I wanted to go out to frozen yogurt because I was just sad because my life was not what I thought it was going to be, I would put that on the credit card. Hi, sweetie.
Hi.
And so there were all of these things that I was filling a void for, and all of these things that I was spending our money on, but we still were living paycheck to paycheck. And 78% of Americans do the same thing. So if you feel like you are just alone, you are not. You are not alone. And when I talk to people now who are in the same position as I was, or maybe they don't have credit card debt, maybe they just don't ever get to buy anything that they want. They can put food on the table, they can pay their mortgage, they can pay their car payment, but everything is tight and it puts a huge financial strain and burden on their family. And they're just terrified of getting in credit card debt. Maybe that's you. And either way, you're living paycheck to paycheck and you have this negative mindset around money, right? And what I'm here to tell you is give you hope that there is a better way. And for me, what that better way started with was taking a leap of faith on something that I did not think was going to work. I started Plexus with the hope that it was going to bring my milk supply back because Brooke had posted something on Facebook saying that it might help with that. And I really did not believe that it was going to work. But after a month of thinking about it, thinking about how we didn't have any money, I realized that I was going to have to spend money on formula anyway if I didn't try this. So in my mind, I went into it with a commitment that I was going to try it for 60 days. I would recommend committing 90 days, but my story in my head when I started was I'll make a deal with myself. I'm going to do it for 60 days. And if my hope was that it would bring my milk supply back, and then I would quit, cancel my account, have the free food back, and then figure out what I was going to do when he was one. And we were just going to keep going from one thing to the next, trying to get Sean to work more, to get more money, to get ahead. We were never going to get ahead. You don't get ahead of $125,000 in debt. You don't get ahead of that. You don't get ahead of $5,000 of credit card debt, you guys. That's really hard to pay off $5,000 of credit card debt unless something changes about your income. And oftentimes, even when you're making an extra $500 a month, you absorb it somewhere else, right? And so one of the things that really helped us along the way is, number one, when the product started working for me, I couldn't shut up about it. Now, it did not fix my milk supply right away. It did a ton of other things that were better. I actually ordered the products on my credit card and I told my mom about it and she said, "Oh, is that stuff Brooke's been talking about?" And I said, "Yes." She goes, "Oh, I've been wanting to do it too. I'll order with you." So my mom ordered with me. And then I called my sister and I said, "Okay, I know you have these thyroid issues. I have no idea if this is going to work. It's probably not going to work, but like, look at the ingredients and tell me if you think it's going to kill me." Because she's a nurse. She's smart. She researches stuff. And she was like, "No, you're good. It looks good. And I want to do it with you." So she ordered. And then my best friend, after 2 weeks, and I started feeling better, she ordered and it helped her too. And so I just was like, just gathered the three most important people in my life, even though I didn't know the products were going to work, because I wanted someone to do it with me. And I really had this hope that it was going to work. And I thought if it could work for me, maybe it could work for them. And selfishly, I needed their money to help pay for my stuff, if I'm honest. So when my sister-in-law ordered, I got $25. When my mom ordered, I got $50 because she got a bigger pack. And then when my best friend ordered, I got another $25. And then the company pays you another $200 on top of that when you get three. So my mind was blown. And I was like, wow, okay, this is cool. I don't even know if this works yet, but I really like the paycheck. And then 2 weeks in, I noticed my hair stopped falling out. My mood issues went away. My skin cleared up. I was falling asleep in 5 minutes instead of 2 hours. I was staying asleep all night long. I woke up rested. I didn't need a nap. When I put my kids to bed at night, I did not have to eat chocolate peanut butter ice cream to calm down. That was always my habit. I put my kids to bed and I would reward myself for getting through the day without having a full-blown panic attack because I'm an only child, you guys, and I had 4 kids in 7 years, and every day I just walk around asking my husband if this is normal. Is all of this normal? Because I just don't even know. And he's like, this is totally normal, and laughs at me. But I just was ridden with nerves all the time. My heart was always racing. I felt like I couldn't breathe. Most days I would just say, I just wish I could catch my breath. I wish I could just catch my breath. And all of that went away for me at the 2-week mark. And then by 3 months, I lost 6 pounds. And I was pooping every day, you guys. And I was pooping every day before Plexus. Like, I was always pooping every day, but it hurt. And sometimes, so embarrassing. Sometimes I would, well, almost every day I would bleed when I would poop. And like, I don't want to get too personal here, but like sometimes you have to like help the poop come out. I'm just going to leave it there because I know that some of you are doing it. I know it because I talked to someone about it the other day and they were like, I totally did that before Plexus too. Your poop should be this big. This is the size of your colon. So this should be the size of your poop. Okay. This was the size of my poop before. And because I pooped once a day, I just thought that was normal and I was regular. That is not normal. That is not regular. Now I poop between 1 to 3 times a day, depending on if I am eating all plants or if I have dairy and meat in my diet, which I do most days, right? So the more plants you eat, the more you poop. But you should at least be pooping 1 time a day with poop that is this big. If it's any bigger than that, you need some Plexus. And that's not the only reason to take it, but you know what I'm saying, okay? So I was more regular. My bloating went down. I lost 6 pounds at the 3-month mark. Our products are clinically proven to help you lose 8 pounds in 8 weeks with a BMI of 27 or greater. I was, at the time when I started Plexus, I was 155 pounds. After 18 months on Plexus, I lost 40 pounds. I'm 5'5". That's a healthy weight for where I am. I just could never, ever lose weight before Plexus. And my milk supply came back. So I went from a 1/2 ounce of breast milk every 3 hours to 5 ounces every 3 hours. It took a full 8 weeks for me to see that increase. It was increasing along the way, but it took 8 weeks for me to see that. It also got rid of my baby's eczema on his chest. We had tried all the creams, all of the steroids, everything. Nothing worked. After 2 months of me nursing on Plexus, Triplex, X Factor Original, Mega X, Ease. After 2 months of that, his eczema completely went away. My husband's migraines went away. My kids' constipation went away. They had encopresis, where all that comes out is liquid. And I told the pediatrician, oh, they just have leaky bum. It's like leaky bum. It's a boy thing. And he said, no, it's not a boy thing. That's called chronic constipation. And there's an entire floor at Primary Children's Hospital for it. It's why they have squatty potties all over the place at Costco, because we're a society of constipated humans, right? So what I hope that you get from tonight is that no matter what your health issue is, or even if you are like, I feel good, I feel okay, there's something here for you. Within 2 weeks, oh, and when your kids are diagnosed with encopresis, do you want to know what they tell you to do? 2 capfuls of Miralax every single day, mineral oil, which is the most disgusting thing you've ever had in your whole life. I think it's worse than castor oil. It's horrific. And then I threw up after I tried it because he tried it and spit it out. And I was like, it can't be that bad. So I tried it and I threw up in the sink. It really, and I can drink anything. I do not have a sensitive stomach. Horrible. And then they have you get glycerin sticks, which is an enema for a child. And it is really hard to hold a 7-year-old's butt cheeks open while he lays down and screams and you shove in an enema. And then hurry him to the bathroom before he poops everywhere on the way. This was every day of our life for 7 years before we found Plexus. I still feel like I cry tears of joy every time my kids poop, because 2 weeks into Plexus, and they were doing a 1/4 teaspoon of Slim, 1 Probio 5, 1 BioCleanse. That's how we started them. 2 weeks on that, no Miralax, and they have pooped every single day. We've also added in 2 of the X Factor Kids chewables, and they don't take the BioCleanse anymore because they poop just fine with the probiotics and a 4th teaspoon of Slim. I am so grateful for these products. I'm so grateful for gut health. When I started telling people all of these stories as they were happening to us in our life with no other motivation than just because I couldn't stop myself, like Kirsten was talking about, if I love something, I share it. And the company generously rewarded us. So my first month, I made $1,000 with Plexus, and I started to realize if I could make $1,000 a month doing this, then Sean wouldn't have to work Saturdays anymore. And then he could be home making pancakes and I could be sleeping in. He could be coaching basketball and I could be sleeping in because I was so tired. Now I'm not exhausted all the time, but I was so tired before. And so all I ever wanted to do was just make $1,000 a month. You guys, by 6 months into sharing these products and caring about people and caring about the dreams that we had totally stopped dreaming for ourselves, after 6 months of believing that maybe there was something more here, I was making $7,000 a month with Plexus. By 18 months into the company, I had paid off $125,000 of debt. Do you want to know what true wealth is? I asked my dad this question once, and I wanted him to give me a salary amount that I needed to aim for. I said, Dad, how much money did you make in a year when you knew that you were, you'd hit it big? Like, what is wealthy? What does that mean? And he's a very successful realtor. He's been written up in Forbes magazine. And the day I got married, he cut us off. And I love him for it. I love him for that struggle. And that day when I was sitting on his boat in the middle of a lake, and I was expecting him to say $200,000. That's what I thought he was going to say. And I was like, perfect. Somehow I can work Sean to like 160 hours a week, and we will hit that amount. And then maybe we'll be able to take our kids to Disneyland one day. Because I had given up on that dream. Totally. We were never going to be able to do that. We've been able to take our children to Disneyland twice, and we took them to Disney World 2 weeks ago. Without going into debt, without putting it on the credit card. And what my dad told me that day is he said, Emily, true wealth is debt freedom. It's not an amount of money that you make. So I want you to remember that tonight, that as you consider purchasing products from Plexus, that you will consider this opportunity as well. And I rolled my eyes at this when I joined. I did. But what this has given to our life is debt freedom. We're able to buy our dream home. We're able to give our kids memories at Disneyland, Disney World, Hawaii, all of these things paid for by this incredible opportunity. It's different than anything you've ever tried before, I promise you that. This team is different than any team you've ever worked for or dealt with before. We are different. I can't vouch for any other company out there, and I can't even vouch that our company is perfect. But what I can vouch for are the people on this team. We will make it a different experience for you. These products will make a difference in your life. And if you will just have an open heart and an open mind, and just start with the 3 most important people to you, you'll get a paycheck for $305. And then what you do from there is totally up to you. If you never do anything else with it ever again, fine. If you want to start without that, fine. But there's this money on the table that will pay for your products for the first 90-day trial period. You might as well pick it up. I love free. It makes it free. And who knows, maybe 2 years from now, you will be sitting where I am, realizing that you are debt-free, that your life has totally changed because you took a chance on something that you just sort of had a gut feeling, maybe I should do this, even though it doesn't make any sense. and I had to put it on my credit card, and I wasn't really sure if it was going to work. I'm so grateful for this. And thank you so much for being with us here tonight and hearing our stories. And I'm excited for you to get started. If you want to sign up in the next 24 hours, we want to make sure that you have a gift for giving us your time. And that is $20 off any welcome pack. So please reach out to whoever invited you to this call and tell them the story or the thing that someone said that most related to you. That's all. Even if you don't want to order, just reach out to them and tell them one thing that you heard on this call tonight that you related to the very most. Because whoever invited you to this call, one thing I can promise you is that they care very much about you. That's the most amazing thing about anyone in network marketing, is we care so deeply about the people that we are trying to help, because our lives have been changed by the products, and that's different than anything that you can buy on a shelf in a store. Thanks for being with us here tonight, you guys. Bye.